Hey everybody, Brian here, Toodles. Just wanted to go over what I'm thinking here over this last drop thanks to China making all crypto illicit financial transactions, otherwise making it illegal. So today is September 24th, 14:07 p.m. Now, let me show you what's going on my blog. Here we can transition. Thank you. YouTube's has shadow banned me, but I get the occasional view and the occasional comment. So I had this person say on this video here, you can just go to my blog. I just posted this: crypto Python trading with Kraken on MotiveWave. This is going to sound radical, but I'll tell you why. So I got this comment. First was thinking, what TF, what the fire is this? But just listing a few gems for the beginner here, me novice, while listening to this half conversation, which it is. It's over about 2 and a bit hours. Thanks, check for your webpage, got me drooling over bot trading. Good to know. So again, it's this video. You can look for the post on my quantlabs.net/blog. Crypto Python trading with Kraken on MotiveWave. So here we go. So this is the latest I'm going to show you, combining both Python and MotiveWave. I'm going to show you why I think this is where it's at, because you know me, I've been working on Python with the automated orders for crypto trading for a very long time. It worked well for Binance for about a year, 2 years, since they've left where I live, and among other places. Lately I just found out about Australia. I switched back over to Kraken, and basically hello, I've moved back over to Kraken. So as a result, what I've done is tried to figure out how to automate this trading with Kraken on Python. Now, I'm not saying it cannot be done. I just think it's, when it comes to orders, you're better off with a exchange charging a higher commission. You might be better off just to go with a platform. You know, I use MotiveWave for that. So I'm going to show you the combination of what I'm looking at now, because it's going to be, I'm getting mentally tired of trying to get this to work with the Python orders. So let me show you what we got. So let me just go over to my little thing here. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me transition back to the screen. Here we go. All right, so what you're looking at is my debug statements and reports of all of the current situation right now. You know, Bitcoin has dropped. You know, Ethereum's dropped because of this China banning crypto, making it totally illegal to trade, invest, whatever, buy with crypto in China. That's a pretty big statement. We know about the last time they said we're getting rid of mining. And look at all the other things that cascaded behind it, where it just basically dropped the price of Bitcoin in half. So this has got nothing to do with crypto. This has got nothing to do with the industry. It's just basically governments reacting to financial. That's going to radically change their financial system, and this is how they deal with it, by just banning it outright. So that's all fine and good. We have some suffering, but I just wanted to show you what's been going on. So in here we have entry potential. This little score here, I'm not sure if I showed this before, but right here I'm using from my reports anything that shows a bearish candle pattern of anything. It just drops the rating, because it's a rating I'm using for this section, and I've talked about this before. We're using candle patterns. We're using moving average crosses, which are very significant in being able to determine what will lead into a price change. We've also talked about how to know when it's coming. Last night I did see a lot of these coins were, again, like basically red flagging bearish signals through the candle patterns. Had nothing to do with China. I didn't see that but they were just dropping for whatever reason, and that was the biggest signal. And look what happened. If you look at the platform individually here, we'll get to this in a minute, but what I want to show you is the big drop. Again, this is MotiveWave here. Here on the 23rd, let me show you the hourly. XBT. What you'll see here is that this is weird. Let me pull up a 15-minute. Okay, so we got a 15-minute chart here. What you'll notice here is Bitcoin did recover price-wise about 10% yesterday, and this news came out and knocked it back quite a bit. So you would have missed out on that 10% move. Even my signaling, all my Python scripting didn't catch it, and the Python scripting doesn't catch a lot. But it does become very useful when you see these kind of signals here pointing negative something like big, which is can be fairly accurate. I'm not saying it is. And then also I put another ranking in here as well, this one right here, of profitable potential score. Not just using what I just mentioned here, RSI, momentum, candle patterns, are you moving over the last 3 hours, a whole wide spectrum of just simple signals and measurements that you can use to get this kind of ranking. And this ranking is fairly good. Now, when you factor in all the other stuff that I built out over the last year, be it order book, you can see here we have our ask quantity and bid quantity, and we calculate our ratio. This is a nice thing about crypto, is we're able to generate a score for that, because you're not only looking at on a long-term basis, but you're looking at what's going on right now on the order book. So I do a whole pile of stuff there as well, and there's a lot of stuff in here to capture this that I'm measuring, not just to capture the ratio, but other things as well. It's a scoring and a ranking, both here on the entry and in trying to do it in real time, looking at financial data. Here on the entry score, we're looking at daily, we're looking at hourly, and sometimes 1 minute. Just depends on the analysis for that tool. Spits back a result, and there's a whole other measurements as well, using different metrics and indicators to generate this score. Plus there's this I'd call it profitable score, I guess. And combined between those two measurements, you're able to get a very accurate on what's going on. So I'm going to show you how this works. So here's MotiveWave, as I said. Here I'm using Kraken. As you can see here, Kraken, 190 instruments. So this is no longer just using USD. It's factoring all assets, all against all crypto, against all different types of fiat currencies, like we have here, Euro, USD, and I believe Australia might find in there, the yen, the Canadian, so on. So that's pretty good, okay? So that's 190 things to look at. So I want to come back to the Python here, just showing you how to blend the two on top of using we'll call it very deep analysis, because using one or the other will throw you off. If you're using only one of the two ways of looking at this, it can throw you off. I just came up with this by accident, and I'll tell you, when I looked at it, it's a very balanced view of that coin, because you're not only looking at it from the order book, but you could be wrong on the other side of being able to forecast what could happen. But as I said, with this entry score, it was screaming all these negative values last night, and if you ignored it, you would have lost money. So that is one of the critical things that this process generated through Python has helped me a lot. Now, continuing along, looking at all these coins here. So we just looked at OMG, XTZ has the same thing. Here, when you look at the score on this potential score, it's positive. So here with KSM, it's negative. I just want to show you something here. Really, really important. So we're just going to look at the overall entry, and you'll see a majority of them are negative. So we have Cardano there, we have Maker, we have Ethereum, negative again. Okay. Compound, negative. We have Ren. Okay, Ren. Now, let me just explain something to you to get onto this list of what you're seeing, the coins that get onto this list. There's a higher level process that I run through, checking for momentum, checking on trend, checking on volatility, and checks on that. It checks, namely in the volatility, the whipsaws. So if there's a lot of whipsaws, those coins, when they get scanned, will not end up on this list. So these are essentially the least volatile, but has most potential to end up on this list. So I could run this in the next 10 minutes, an hour. You'll get a completely different set of coins on what's showing potential. But I just want you to understand that, okay? But here, this is the interesting thing. When you look at this entry score, this is the only coin, Ren, that has positive entry. And also, when you look at here, the profitable score, it's not strong, but when you look at everything else is negative, you'll notice that there's strength here. When you go back on a MotiveWave and look at this watch list and look at this percent change, here you can see a bunch of coins don't get updated. That's because of lack of volume, I guess. And then you have a bunch of coins here that have positive. Okay, so there's a lot of red here, as you can see. A lot of red. But here, you're able to see some coins that are showing some strength. So what are those coins? So on the podcast, we have Ren at 14%, Tezos, okay, as well as Waves, okay? So this is just at the snap of a button once you set up your watch list here on MotiveWave. Now, because with the Python, I only focused on USD, you can also see we have quite a bit of difference between Ren against the pound at 14.89%, whereas if you were just to focus on Ren in the euro, 7.73%, and Ren in US dollar at 6.55%. So if you were to trade Ren in British pound, just alone on that against USD or euro, just looking at that one coin, one comparison among three separate fiat currencies, you would be doubling your profit just based upon that. That's new to me just by looking at this watch list. And again, there's a bunch of coins in here that are not making it based upon, from what I understand from what they said, MotiveWave, why aren't certain coins making it into where it's showing the change percent? The reason is because there's not enough volume being, I'm going to assume, pushed through MotiveWave to capture enough percent change. So there's not enough volume. But tomorrow you might get a coin like SC and USD show up as a top score because there's now volume being pumped through it on the exchange. But I just want to highlight that to you, that taking it one step further, what I'm showing you here, but then blending it with MotiveWave, you're able to see things. Now, I'm going to go over MotiveWave versus Python in a minute, but let me just finish this process of this analysis. So you can see here all these coins, and this is generally in the last 15 minutes, okay? So a lot of these coins are showing negative entry scores. Here we have waves now as well. When you go into the MotiveWave on the watch list again, you'll see in the top, not quite top, but you'll see here we have waves showing a 2-3% move. Pretty good. So this does work. Okay, that's good. Now let me just continue moving along here just to finish this process up. Negative, all negative, all negative. Now, question is, why would I show you this? This is all negative. Okay, so that's the last of it. Okay, so there's only, out of that, only 2 coins that went through all the process, all the scans, all in my Python to get to this point where it confirms on MotiveWave what shows up as a winner. Okay, right now. Now, this utility that I'm showing you here, this little report is very useful. Why? Because I mentioned it earlier. It will tell you ahead of time if there's something brewing in the coin or set of coins that are going negative, or the flip side when there's suddenly buy signals and everything starts to become positive. So these numbers here, even though they're negative, you can start to see these numbers go from 5, 6, to 10, 11, 12, 14, 16, 18. Once they hit 16, 15, 16, 18, what that tells you is they're in breakout mode. And generally you can watch these numbers go up and down, and you can use that plus this score here to get the real time to see if that coin will break out. Okay? So this whole process seems to work pretty good. Yay. So that's with MotiveWave, okay? So let me just pull up this chart here. See if this works. No. Okay, so here's Ren GBP, pound. See all the gaps here? That's on a 15-minute basis, not a lot of volume here. But look what's happened, is that somewhere, somehow, on the exchange, somebody's pumping this sucker up, which is awesome. You might not catch it, but you can definitely reap the rewards on it. So if you look at an hourly basis, oh, it's updating now. See all that volume just coming in and driving up the price. Okay, so that's what's happening there on Ren and GBP or pound. Now, will that last forever? No. It's definitely a whale trader probably kind of doing that. So if you want my opinion, you're always better off to stick with. So let's say if we look at, well, let's look at a higher volume. So if we have here Tezos and Euro, let's see how that's looking. So that's pumping at 8.51% right now. With the coins. So right now you can see there's a lot of volume there, and that's on a 15-minute chart. That's pretty good volume, and there's enough traders coming out of Europe or trading in Euro to keep that volume quite high. You can see right here, not as much as in Ren. Let's look in USD. Okay. So here, again, quite a bit of volume. And then we have here two more choices. We have Tezos and pound. And you'll probably see the gaps there. Okay. Yeah, you start to see the gaps until that pump comes in. So somebody out of England or Great Britain is pumping that as well. Has to be. But you can see all the gaps here in British pound. Lastly, we'll take a look at Australia. Now, I've shown this across, if you buy gold in Canadian, US, there can be a big difference. But you can see here all the gaps as well. It's not as bad as the British pound, but you get the idea. So it's interesting to know that. So, in essence, these signals coming from these and these rankings are very useful. That's generated from Python. So that's where Python really can be excellent at, for doing quick, automated analysis on certain coins and just run it time and time again, okay, against here. Where I think in my world, based upon what I've done over the years, where if Python fails is the execution, the orders. Okay, so this is probably where I do think MotiveWave will excel at, because you put your orders in, you can build strategies around that through here, combined with studies here, and let the platform, MotiveWave platform, take care of the orders. The challenge is being able to blend in dynamically certain coins, so that here, that when you get a signal that yes, REN, yes, XTZ or TZOS is starting to move or about to move, how do you get MotiveWave to automatically open up that chart? Now, I haven't checked in since May on this update, this feature. I am not sure where it's at with MotiveWave, but hopefully MotiveWave will see the need here for this sort of thing, because I can only expect MotiveWave to do so much with this type of analysis. And that's fine from the world of Python. I don't expect MotiveWave to do that. But I do think that as a programmer, I don't know if it should be, I don't know if it's a philosophical thing or if it's a technical feature or a technical capability I don't know of, based upon how MotiveWave is architected. I don't know, but it don't matter. All what matter is, and I'm sure a lot of people from my world will really go, oh my God, MotiveWave is now the big thing, is if it's able to take this type of analysis, and as I said, in the world of crypto, okay, these kind of signals, that means I have to manually open up a chart and then apply a strategy to then watch this coin and then be able to start trading based upon those calls. Because let's recognize it quite succinctly, is that Python has its limitations and a platform like MotiveWave will have its limitations. But here's what I would love to see, is if there's a way I could generate just simply some kind of capability so that the Python will signal, generate a CSV file, a comma separated value file, a CSV, and then have MotiveWave watch it, and then just say, oh, here's a new chart that we need to open up the chart. And if I remember with MotiveWave that you can, once you open up a chart, you can automatically have it set up and have a strategy open at the same time. If that's capable, you have full-on end-to-end automation between Python and MotiveWave for automated trading. Without that feature, this is the limitation of MotiveWave. I've looked at many other platforms, and I'll tell you to this day that MotiveWave is still easily, by a long shot, MotiveWave is the #1 platform on the planet. Okay? And for what they charge and what it can do, it's a steal. Simple as that. But, as I said, all platforms have a limitation. But one thing I will tell you about MotiveWave is that their staff, their programming folks, and their technical support is excellent. They actually listen to what are the needs of their users. So, if MotiveWave implements something like this, I'd be like, I would consider it a godsend, because this is the last, from what I see, limitation of MotiveWave. Because there's a lot of people out there that want to do their trading or analysis in something like Python, and if it doesn't matter what language they work with, in whatever language, as long as they're able to generate a CSV file with a chart that needs to be open, and then have MotiveWave dynamically watch that file or through a message queue, and then have MotiveWave automatically, dynamically open up a chart and then set up a strategy ready to go, and then have the same CSV file to close out that chart and shut down the trading, because it does take up a lot of resources, both the Python and both MotiveWave as well takes up the resources. Now, I could easily put this on a cloud server without a doubt. But then we get into security, we get out, this is public facing, blah, 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 and you get a big account like, I don't know, $50,000, $100,000, you get some hacker on the cloud. It can be a disadvantage there. But I do have customers that want to be in the cloud, and you can still do that through a company like Vulture with their Windows hosting options. So we're there, but from the Python side, the orders is the challenge, okay? And from the MotiveWave, where the challenge lies, is this capability to dynamically open up a chart. And let's face it, MotiveWave can only do so much on the analysis side. There's no way that MotiveWave can apply machine learning. There's no way MotiveWave can apply what I do. It would, like, I've tested MotiveWave in so many ways, and no, it just can't keep up with the amount of orders I want to send out. I get that. So if you could let a language do its analysis, generate a little signal somehow through a CSV that a MotiveWave can watch, and then to open up that file, and then apply automatically that chart to be opened up, as well as the automated strategy to start taking care of the automated orders. Man, MotiveWave is come so far. Think about this. MotiveWave has been very awesome. This is one of the only platforms what it can do on Linux. We're right now on Linux Mint, okay? And what you're seeing here. Name me another platform of its caliber on a Linux platform. Number two, okay, a lot of people don't like Java. I'm not a big fan of Java when you can work with Python. I get that. But being able to bridge without the need of having to integrate Python somehow into this, you don't need to. You just have MotiveWave very simply watch it, something, CSV, most common or the easiest, and just let MotiveWave take over from there. Once it knows it has a signal and maybe some other data that you could put in the CSV file or record to say, okay, here's how much I want you to open up with, trade-wise, and automatically do that, and then let MotiveWave focus on a strategy for execution and automated orders. If they're able to do that, oh man, MotiveWave is awesome. Because another thing I want to mention about MotiveWave, also this is the only platform that I know of where it's a full-on crypto platform that you can natively connect to Kraken, Coinbase, and Binance. Okay, that's it. I mean, there's other platforms that do the same, and they're probably more advanced as well in crypto. But I have a Facebook group. I don't know how many thousands of people are on it, but I do every day get people come in, probably 20 a day. And one of the questions I ask them is, what do you want to trade? What kind of asset class? I say half want to trade crypto. So half the audience out there that want to use a platform, a really good one, like MotiveWave, half of that audience potential is going to be in crypto. So a lot of the good brokers are capable and enabled in MotiveWave. There's other ones that are probably more shoddy. I'm not going to mention those, but all that is there. I will tell you, I think Kraken's probably easily the number one platform to be on for API programming. MotiveWave has it. They had problems up till a few months ago where I was not able to use Kraken and connect into it using Kraken. Tried it in the last month or so, and voila, it works. And this is Kraken. So we're there. We're good there. So hopefully somebody watching this at MotiveWave will kind of get an aha moment from what I'm talking about. It's the last step to really take MotiveWave to that next level, whereas you could do all your analysis in a language of your choice, whatever it is. Python's obviously number one. You can also do it with machine learning. Have it generate some kind of CSV file, a flat file, get MotiveWave to pick up that signal through the file, and then continue building your automated strategy in the your execution or order strategy that you can easily develop in MotiveWave using the Java SDK. We'll leave it at there, but I just wanted to just show you where we're at, because in summary, I will tell you what I'm seeing playing around, and it's more me, not the language. Python, I'm just getting pretty frustrated by the order execution, because I don't have what I have with MotiveWave in terms of the charting and all the other highly advancements that you get with the charting on MotiveWave. So if there's a way to, and then leading into MotiveWave, being able to say, hey, MotiveWave, the software, here's this CSV file, here's the charts I want you to open up, and then have the charts as they open up the strategy and execute the strategy. Because doing that, oh man, I will tell you, you will make life a lot easier for people. I'm going to leave that for there, and hopefully maybe I'm dumb, the feature doesn't exist, and it does happen, it does exist, or something close to it exists. If not, we'll have to figure out how to work around this. I know what to do, it's just it's cumbersome because I can't be up all day or all night. I don't want to take amphetamine, whatever, speed to keep up all night, not need to sleep, because there's overnight opportunities I can miss out on as other coins will start to show themselves, and the only way is to kind of like guess what charts I have to open up before I go to bed and let those strategies kick in if the opportunity comes around, and if not, those become wasted resources. So we'll leave that there. Both ends are awesome. I'd love to be able to bridge the world using a simple solution that I'm thinking of. Hopefully it could get there, but for now I'm going to figure out the best way to get around it. Other than that, thanks for watching. Have yourselves a good day. Have a good day. Goodbye from, yes, well, I can show you the dog, but oh well. Later. Bye.